Hi, I'm Tom Edwards, and today I'm going to take you through the first of 4 videos that outline my new framework of E-3. So this is a new platform that I'm taking forward to a lot of conferences and events. I'll be unveiling it as a keynote at the upcoming Mobile World Congress of Americas. So within this first video, I wanted to focus on the history of the evolution of experience from my perspective. So taking you from the late 70s all the way through to today, as well as a sneak peek into the near future. And that's going to be then followed up by 3 additional videos, each one of them focusing on one of the core foundational pillars of the E-3 framework. And that is empower, enhance, and environment. Empower will be a review of all of the technologies that really take and enable shifts and changes within consumer behavior by allowing them to own, create, or democratize various types of platforms that truly empower the consumer moving forward. Enhance is all about intelligent systems, so it's going to be a deep dive into all facets of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, as well as reviewing the shift in terms of the 4 Ps to the 4 that I previously discussed in a previous video, tied to psychographic, predictive, proxy, and pervasive. And ultimately about this shift from marketing to just individuals to also marketing to algorithms or potentially proxies. Environment will be the final area that we focus on, and this is really the culmination of all of the core shifts that are happening. It's the alignment of location and graph-based data tied with smart assistants that also then aligns with computer vision that can really help to redefine what our reality is ultimately going to be through this lens of synthetic reality. So this will be the first video. Again, this is a specific timeline that really takes and showcases the evolution of experience from today through to tomorrow. And all of this, again, is to set up this idea of exponential acceleration of experiences with the E-3 framework. Enjoy. Welcome to Innovation to Reality. My name is Tom Edwards, and this is a preview of my keynote presentation tied to the evolution of experience. Again, I'm Tom Edwards. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of the agency business at Epsilon. So some of my earliest memories from the late 70s and early 80s were tied to Star Wars. My love of technology and science fiction quickly became a part of my identity. So as I continued to grow up in the mid-80s, gaming, giant robots, personal computers all became my passion. But looking back at those experiences, they were confined by some of the limitations of the technology of the time. Gaming was self-contained to 8-bit and 16-bit solo experiences. Entertainment, like my obsession with Robotech and Voltron, giant robots, it was determined by watching it in real time on Saturday mornings. Otherwise, I'd have to wait months to catch up. And from a computing perspective, I really got into the hardware side of it, but it was very isolating. It was focused more on, it's an extension of our tasks, such as word processing. Coding was incredibly basic. No pun intended for my developers in the audience. So as I progressed and went through high school in the early 90s, you begin to see a shift in how we begin to interact with technology and how technology starts to further enhance our lives and become a part of our daily lives here. So you see the rise of usability in terms of the graphical user interface used by both Apple and Windows, and really kind of accelerates the mass adoption there from the PC perspective through Windows. Then you start seeing connectivity. So I still have a fondness for the AOL dial-up sound, but the mid-90s is really when the world became truly connected to the World Wide Web. We also began to see the rise of intelligence. So you see an artificial intelligence system, Deep Blue, actually beating a chess grandmaster. So again, you start seeing this progression away from isolation and start moving towards this idea of building a good consumer experience. Now we start moving into the early 2000s. So when I entered the workforce around this time, I joined an interactive agency, and I remember deploying all facets of web projects. They were primarily confined to the desktop. So then moving forward into 2007, we get transformational innovation in the form of the iPhone. The device in and of itself, it was a consolidation of multiple devices into one. It was a clean user experience, it had a responsive touchscreen, and it really set the pace for adoption of the smartphone. But to me, one of the bigger things that happened also was the launch within 2008 of the App Store and the rise of the third-party ecosystem. That's really when we start to see this acceleration and enablement of third-party developers, as well as really driving scale around the iPhone. Now, as we move into the late 2000s, this is where we start to see this acceleration of how technology enhances consumer empowerment. So I spent a lot of time riding the wave of social computing solutions during this time. Working for branded social technology, we supported the forums of MySpace, Xbox, blogs of MSNBC, and I saw firsthand how technology can enhance consumer experience. So as we walk down this continuum, we see the rise of user-created videos through YouTube and Twitter. You see the rise of accessibility and amplification. You start to see the social personification of brands and going from a broadcast medium to fully interactive and conversational. Then we also see the shift in celebrity through influencers that has fundamentally changed our view of entertainment through today, and especially within the younger generations. The whole definition of celebrity has changed. It's no longer about Hollywood. And then we also begin to see the rise of visual storytelling. So now, as we start accelerating towards today, we begin to see this idea of empowerment accelerates personalization through data. So we start to see, again, we see this rise of visual storytelling. You see the shifts in the platforms away from engagement hubs to strictly providing access to content in a highly visual way to grab our attention. We start seeing organizations shifting to mobile-first focus away from desktop, and we see mobile ubiquity in 2014. In 2015, we see how everyone is now essentially a publisher, and co-creation becomes the new normal. Get 400 million selfies created every single day. So with that, and you also see the rapid rise of say Gen Z in terms of their desire to create content, with over 60% of them actually having their own YouTube channel. Now within 2016 was all about the shift from social media to social messaging and the rise of the chatbot. So we begin to see this shift towards conversational experiences and this reimagining of how we connect. And then 2017 has really seen an acceleration around voice-based systems. So we're seeing a foundation being laid toward the future for a shift in how we interact with each other and how we as marketers and developers will actually connect with consumers moving forward. Now, as we head into 2018, 2019, and 2020, I see this eventual progression and acceleration through intelligent systems. Whereas 2016 was the rise of the chatbot, 2017 was the rise of voice-based. We're going to see this shift towards where the idea of multimodal interfaces are the new normal. Multimodal simply meaning vision, touch, voice, all of these other types of interfaces are going to be just the way in which we're going to interact with technology. And our environment is going to be smarter, and how we actually walk through that environment, how it responds to us, is completely going to change from where it is today. So 2018, I'm a big believer that computer vision is going to be the key driving trend in 2018, and we'll touch on that. 2019, we'll see the foundation that's been laid through computer vision, through virtual assistants, through location-based place data that's going to help drive augmented reality at scale. And then in the 2020s is where we'll really see the shift towards ambient. So the idea of mobile as it exists today is going to be completely different. And we're going to be surrounded by millions of sensors that are interconnected and that can work through and provide information to us in near real time. All right, so all of this leads me to the new framework that I've created that I essentially call E-3. And this is all about the idea of exponential acceleration. And this is what's going to help to kind of navigate the rest of this presentation. So as I think about the E-3 framework, it really stands for 3 primary territories that I feel are going to be the core foundational elements to this exponential acceleration we're going to see over the course of the next few years. The framework consists of empower, enhance, and environment. Empower really stands for Technology that's going to continue to empower consumers to create. One of the foundational shifts and changes we're going to see is that we've gone from this idea of content marketing to contextual marketing. Moving forward with a lot of the advancements, it's really going to be less about the creation and push out of branded content and more about the idea of how we enhance the creation of experiences. When I think about enhance, this is tied to this rapid acceleration of intelligent systems and the role that data plays over the course of this period of time to create more personalized and contextual experiences at scale. When I think about environment, I think about how each of the core foundational elements that are going to be coming over the course of the next few years, which is the acceleration of location-based graph data. It's the acceleration of computer vision combined with the rise of virtual assistants that are built on predictive APIs that then also leads to this idea of redefining what our reality is actually going to be. So whether that's the overlay of augmented reality, the advancements tied to virtual reality, our ability to interact spatially with holographic computing such as mixed reality. So each of these three core territories are going to comprise this shift towards exponential acceleration. So that's it for the first video. You saw the evolution of experience from the isolated experiences of the 80s to how we drove connectivity in the 90s to the shift towards consumer empowerment with the rise of both social and the acceleration through third-party development platforms that really can begin to empower consumers. Then you see this shift and this evolution towards both conversational-based experiences and now moving forward into the future with computer vision as well as multimodal as well as the idea of ambient computing. So this was all just the initial upfront to show kind of this rapid acceleration of experience. And now with the following videos, we're going to get into each of the following territories of empower, enhance, and environment to continue to showcase the eCarat3 framework. That's it for today. I'm Tom Edwards. You can follow me on Twitter at Blackfin360, or you can find me on Alexa at Blackfin360, or you can simply type in or say Blackfin360 to Google Assistant and you'll be connected. Have a great day.